Hello, everybody, and welcome to Wednesday's Wise Leader interview. Today, I am so blessed to have my friend, Laura McLaughlin, who is an entrepreneur and acupuncturist. She is 14 and a half years sober, and she is an active community member, just really a positive influence in the community and helpful to so many people, and also an amazing sense of humor and a TikTok dancer. So let's not forget TikTok. Did that sound wrong?
I know, it's like normal dancing, not dirty.
Right after I said it, I was like, that sounded a little funny.
Well, that's the story of my life, really.
There you go. So welcome, Lauren. I'm so glad you could join us today. Did I leave anything out of that bio for you?
No, that's awesome. Yeah, I am just so grateful for this opportunity. I always love chatting with you, no matter if it's in person or online. I just get to see your lovely face, and I'm so excited to sit with you for the next couple of minutes and see how we do.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I've been excited to have you on, and tell us the name of your business.
It is Joyful Balance Wellness, and it's located in Naperville, on the north side of Naperville. So,
And do you have a specialty in acupuncture?
yeah. So my specialty kind of comes from my own personal experience. So I found acupuncture through my journey of recovery. So I specialize mostly with mental health, anxiety, depression, PTSD, substance use disorder, pretty much anything mental health. And then my other passion project is pain. So, the back pains, the knee pains, the shoulder pains, the hunched over looking at Zoom pain that we have right now going on that everybody has, I think. So yeah, those are my two passion projects in my office. I see everything, but those are the two things that I absolutely love to take care of.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. I am so impressed by your journey of sobriety. And I think seriously, it's
Oh, thank you.
There are so many people out there struggling and suffering. And frankly, during COVID, alcohol use has gone way up. Addictions really have gone up as people are trying to cope and people are feeling isolated. And I'm wondering if you could share some of your wise leadership in this area for people.
Oh gosh. Early sobriety for me was just hang on, right? And just stay sober, just do it day by day, minute by minute. And sometimes it took just deep breathing. Sometimes it took, talking to other people. Most of the time it always took talking to other people. Now the tools that I use are how I sort of lead myself through recovery is that I have a morning routine that is the foundation of my day. I find that if I don't do my morning routine, the day is just chaos. And I do not thrive in chaos like anybody else, mostly. But myself, who struggles with substance use disorder, we love chaos. I love chaos, but I do not thrive in chaos. So honestly, the biggest thing that I do is have a morning routine. I know what I'm going to do every morning. It looks exactly the same. I make sure I have a good breakfast. I work out. I've been working out throughout COVID. I also make a list of things that I do. Just like a lot of other people, I was shut down for a couple months, and I realized quickly that having a list of things to do was going to be like the thing that was going to get me through every day instead of just sitting and watching TV. So I would make random lists of things to do. My house is more clean than I've ever had it in my life. So, but
Yeah.
really the foundation for me is morning routine, and it sets the stage for the rest of the day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's not something I talk about in the book, but it's something that I talk about a lot when I'm talking to high achievers about burnout recovery and about peak performance, because I think it's really
Yeah.
important to bookend your day, right, with a morning routine and an evening
Yes.
routine, so that you start off on
Hmm.
the right foot and you end your day on the right foot, so that when you're going into the next day, you're already in a better headspace. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, I think there's so much to the morning routine, and schedule and structure for people, I think is really
Yeah.
important, which is part of why I
Yeah.
think people are struggling in COVID, because as you said, like there is that loss of schedule and structure and even boundaries. Someone from myself who works at home and we're not going many places, it's like all it can blend together unless you have a structure and routine.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
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 Um, how do you think how do you think you found your voice as a wise leader? What was that journey like for you?
Oh my God. There are so many steps along the way. Like I always sort of think of my life as like what my life was like before April 19th of 2006 and what it was like after April 19th of 2006. So, which is my recovery date. And so the person I was back then, I looked normal. I was normal. I did not have the stigma of what a person with substance use disorder looks like. I looked normal, had a job up until the end. So I attribute like my leadership is actually post recovery because it looks so different. And um, so I would say that there's been so many turning points that I think having the opportunity to get help was the first step in leadership, and being willing to listen to others and hear what they have to say. Um, then um, building self-esteem and building the like self-love again after the trauma of substance use disorder. And then I mean, honestly, it's been help from other people and learning from other people and watching other leaders and seeing how they treat other people. Um, I'm a big, like, I'll watch and learn kind of person. I'm also a big, I'm just going to do it and see what happens. So I don't think that's a really good style of leadership.
Sometimes it is though, right? I think
Yeah.
leaders take risks, you know.
Yes. Yeah.
Leaders take
Yes. I
risks
definitely
and
take a
you
lot of risks.
and you have to you can't be so afraid of failure, right? You have to be willing to experience the mistakes and learn from them and keep going. If you
Yes.
play small, if you don't take the risks and you're so afraid of making a mistake, it's really hard to be a wise leader then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I definitely take a risk. I would say also like what got me into trouble with substance use was the ability to say yes to things because I say
Mm-hmm.
yes to anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I think also my leadership style is you ask me to do something, I will say yes. And I actually don't really think about it. You know, I've gotten myself into running a Chicago marathon. I've gotten myself into doing an improv show. Like you tell me to, you ask me to do it, I do it. So I, again, like, I don't know if that's leadership, but I think to your point, and like a wise leader just isn't necessarily afraid of failure. And if I fail, I fail. Like that, there's so much lesson in that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true that sometimes we learn more from our failures than we do from our wins, right? There's such
100%.
an opportunity for growth there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Right.
Which everybody's so afraid of failure, but like, I guess I don't ever go into anything thinking I'm going to fail.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I don't know if that's just pure stupidity or just like, this is what I'm going to do and I'm going to see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I just don't feel the worry of failure. Obviously, I think broad picture, yes, I do. You know, I never want my business to fail. I don't want those things to happen, but I try to do the legwork to make those things happen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, and you've built up a sense of confidence and self-efficacy that that allows you to not see the failure, right? Not see that potential when you're taking that risk. You're seeing
Mm-hmm.
the potential opportunity outweighs the potential for failure,
Yeah,
right?
100%.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's an attitude that wise leaders cultivate. I think that
Mm-hmm.
that often takes work and it takes experience to
Mm-hmm.
be able to get to that place.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So how did your sobriety lead you to acupuncture?
Uh, Totally a windy, weird road. And I guess that would be a failure. Like, um, it was absolutely a failure. So in my second year of just right before my second year of recovery, I don't know what I just was dealing with emotion and I didn't know how to deal with it. You know, part of using substances is numbing out emotions. And, you know, when I talk about my recovery, I always think about my first year was just don't do drugs. Like just don't do drugs, don't use alcohol, just don't do it. So I got through the first year and then I was able to get a real job. Um, my first year of sobriety, I worked at Bath and Body Works in the Mall of America. And I
Hey,
was the best chapstick seller that they ever had there.
there you go.
I might still be on the wall. I don't know. Um,
Your lips were not dry.
no,
Hey, in Minnesota?
I mean, it was important. But honestly, I had so much fun doing it. And part of it was also working on my ego. And I think I was 24 at the time. You know, a lot of my friends were getting married and doing everything. And here I am working as a salesperson at the Mall of America. But anywho, so I got my first real job with Target Corporate, and I did not do well there. And then I got another job in a public relations firm, and again, I did not do well there because my emotions were coming out, and I had no idea how to deal with them. And at the time, I was a member of a well-known recovery community, and I had a sponsor, and she told me about this place in New Mexico, and I was like, okay, I'll go. Like at this point, I'll go. So I actually went to treatment in my sobriety, and it was trauma informed and trauma based recovery. It was awesome. And they had acupuncture there. And so I went and they said, no, do you want to try acupuncture? And I said, that stuff, I did not use that word. That stuff does not work. No thanks. And then they said, well, it's included in the price. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll do it. So I was in New Mexico and I met this awesome woman, and she just spent time with me, asked me everything. And then we did acupuncture. And this is like a kind of a weird story, but we did acupuncture and I got up on the table and she put the first point in, and I've never had an experience like this, but until that day, she put the point in and I saw like this white light and heard a voice, and it was like, this is what you're supposed to do with your life.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I was freaked out to it's like, excuse me.
Right.
Are you talking? Um, so I proceeded to begin enrolling in acupuncture school while I was still receiving treatment in New Mexico. So by the time I came back 6 weeks later, I was on the road to becoming accepted and getting ready to start acupuncture school. So at the time, I was using Western medicine for some anxiety and things, and which was great. And then I found acupuncture, and it completely changed my life. I used to smoke. At the height of my smoking career, I smoked 4 packs a day, which is
Wow.
disgusting and very expensive, even for then. Um, and I have been able to quit everything and stay in recovery and by using acupuncture and other modalities, but mainly acupuncture.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And I can't believe I didn't know that story of how you got to acupuncture.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
What, what a
Weirdest thing in the
journey.
world.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, and I really hope our interview today inspires hope in others. Like, look at the journey you've had and,
Yeah.
look at post April 19th, 2006, right?
Yeah. Uh,
Look at
if,
where you are now
yeah.
and um the health you have and the dedication to your health and the service to your community. And I think you're such a great example of how you live wise leadership outside of your home, in your career and in your community.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Thank you.
sure.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, I
absolutely.
learned from the best, you. So,
Well, that's very sweet. I appreciate it. You know
of
what? That
course,
brings
I
me
wouldn't be
back.
here without you, girl.
Sweet. Tell me a bit. That reminds me of another question. So tell me a bit about how you said that getting help from other people, having mentors, watching positive examples was really key for you.
Hmm.
And I'm wondering for other people out there, how did you do that? How did you find those people and bring them into your world?
Um, so when I moved back to Illinois, I didn't really know anybody. Yes, I'm from here. I'm from Naperville, but my life was so different. And so were all of my friends. Their lives were different. So I needed to sort of get out there and start meeting people. So I joined, part of my recovery is volunteerism. That's
Mhm.
part of the foundation of what I do and why I do it is serving others. It's just something that works for me. So I joined the Naperville JCs, which is an awesome young person's leadership community. And there are so many examples of awesome leadership in there. Um, Obviously, it's a little bit different right now. You can't necessarily like go volunteer places, but I joined them, and then that gave me the confidence boost to sort of reach out to other organizations. I've sat on the JC's board, I've sat on the Naperville Area Humane Society board, and each of those times is ways to learn from really awesome, strong community leaders.
Mm.
We are so blessed in this area that we have really strong community leaders. And so being a part of those organizations gave me the tools that I needed to sort of learn from and how to talk to others. I am not perfect, and I definitely have a lot to work on in terms of leadership, but to watch other people lead and learn like the pieces that worked for them was great.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, I think that really pertains to two of the things I talk about in the book, which is, lifting each other up, that as women, um, we don't benefit at all from gossip and backstabbing and catfighting and infighting, and really when one of us succeeds, we all succeed. We lift all of us up.
Yep.
And then also the other piece of you really need to assemble your tribe, that when you choose to step into leadership, when you choose to step into service, which is all about leadership,
Mm-hmm.
influencing and being of service to others, that you have to really consciously surround yourself with the right people that are going to lift you up, that are going to mentor you, and help you
Mm-hmm.
grow. And sometimes that means letting go of other relationships, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
100%. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. You can, I think as a business owner and as a woman, I think there is sort of cycles of friendships and cycles of relationships and business relationships. And, for you'll have a really great connection with someone and they move on or you move on. And like your career is always dynamic and so is theirs. So, sometimes I look at it as people's seasons in life and what's happening. And I think that's way more apparent now. Just where people are at, what comfort levels, what direction they're taking their businesses in. And now is the time that we can, as wise leaders, like really support each other because people are in such flux that, you know, everybody's worried for the most part.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't think we're being honest with ourselves or each other if you don't say, as a small business, as an entrepreneur, you know, we have concerns. These are not easy times. These are right. And people don't like to talk about that. But it's the reality. And how can we
Yeah.
support each other? I
Yeah.
know one of the things that I've done more of during COVID is, virtual networking with like-minded women
Yeah.
whose business is at a similar level or higher than mine, so
Yeah.
that I have something to look forward to achieving. And
Hmm.
I think now is really a time to reach out to people, because
Hmm.
people are feeling isolated. And when someone drops off your radar, it's probably time to reach out, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. And we're seeing that in terms of substance usage and people who struggle or people who are in early recovery. It is so important for like community is everything. And knowing that someone's, you know, possibly struggling, that's where we can come in and help each other. And again, like as leaders, it's a community. It's not necessarily one person, and just doing everything, but community is so important.
Hmm. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. And I think, you know, as someone who, obviously as a psychologist and as an executive coach, I work with mental health and have worked with mental health for a really long time.
Yeah.
And as you do. And I think, regardless of what, politics aside, whatever you believe about COVID, it's not about that. But the fact that
Hmm.
social isolation does play a role negatively in our mental health, right? And what
100%. Yep.
what can we do about that? I'm really concerned about the mental health crisis that I think we're going to see in this country and that we're starting to see. Um,
Absolutely.
and what burnout as well for people. I mean, people working from home. It's funny, early on LinkedIn, I'd see bosses and stuff being really fearful of like, how do I manage my team from so far away, and are they really going to work? And
Yeah.
then the statistics started coming out that people are working 10 to 20% more
Yeah.
working from home, because
Yeah.
with nothing else to do, it's like, oh, I'll just open my laptop, I'll just check this email,
Hmm.
finish this, or and it is, I think it is a time that we're seeing increased substance abuse, increased depression, increased anxiety,
Yeah.
increased burnout. And that sense of community, we have to find ways to provide that even while we're social distancing.
Yes. Yeah. And, there's so many, it's amazing to see how everything kind of shifted online. And yes, it's awesome to be able to go to meetings online, but even I don't have a lot of Zoom contact because I see people in person, but
Mhm.
the days that I am on Zoom or on, digital uh, meetings and things, I don't know how people do it. I like truly, my heart goes out to all of you who work from home, sit at that computer all day and look at the screen. And I am amazed at the tenacity of people and like the resilience of people. And that is uh, hats off, because I don't know as though I could do it. But I did just
Yeah.
get blue light glasses, which help a lot, I'll just say.
Right. I probably need those myself. Sometimes my eyes are just buggy by the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
oh.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. How would you say, Lauren, that COVID has impacted your business? Like, what do you have to do differently now to serve your people?
I usually wear a mask. Well, I wear a mask all day long. Not usually. That's stupid. Oh, and I snort when I laugh. I apologize to anybody.
I
It is
love it about
just who I
you.
am. Yes. Well, if we could find someone who loves it, that would be great. Anywho, I digress. I follow all the precautions. I wear a mask all day. The patients all wear masks. No one is allowed to take it off. My chairs are 7 feet apart. Everybody gets new linens every time you come in. I'm wiping down door handles. I'm wiping down everything. I actually have pretty much no contact other than when I'm performing acupuncture.
Mhm.
So people only need to touch the door on the outside, and then they have to touch nothing else. I leave everything open. I have contactless pay, all of it. So I
Oh,
try
wow.
and be as safe as possible. Yeah. And um, honestly, the shutdown, I shut down for about a month and a half ish, 2 months. And having that time to really regroup and like figure out what is the best way to serve my patients and keep everybody as safe as possible, including myself, because I have family and, I want to be able to see them.
Mm.
So I think we've done a really good job here, and keeping everybody safe. So
That's fantastic. That's
yeah,
fantastic. Because I think,
yeah,
obviously acupuncture is a way that people can help support themselves during this time. And as you said,
hmm,
with anxiety and different mental health issues or pain,
yep,
and people might be then fearful of getting the help, right? Because there's all this fear around COVID, and it's just good
yep,
to know precautions that people are taking and that they
yep,
can get the help they need, without putting themselves at risk.
yeah,
So,
yep.
yeah,
I try to I've had every single patient come in and feel safe. No one has ever said, I'm not comfortable, those kinds of things. So
mhm,
um, I
mhm,
think we take the most extreme because precautions, because it's hard to back off and then reinstate. So we've just
that's true.
stayed at the most extreme,
Mhm,
and patients are doing fine with it.
that's great. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're
A
close
lot
to
of
the
laundry
end.
though.
Oh gosh, I'm sure. I'm sure. I have enough
Yes.
here. Right?
Oh, yes.
Hmm.
Good times.
Yeah. Before we go or wrap up, I want to know about your t-shirt because I've seen you wear
Oh,
other Choose Joy t-shirts. Can you tell me about that?
yeah. So again, during the shutdown, I was like, okay, what's my life going to look like? And the first couple days being back in the office, I would wear normal street clothes. And so it was hard to know like what I was wearing, what I was, so I reached out to my friend Kelly, who owns Imagination Print and Design in Oswego. And I said, I need some shirts. And so we started going through stuff, and I love tie-dye. Like, it's obviously super in. So I just decided, you know what? I'm going to get a uniform. So now I'm wearing tie-dye shirts all the time. And for me, it's a reminder to choose joy every day. Like, part of my morning routine is dancing on TikTok. It brings me joy. Not dirty dancing. We already covered this. Right? And then I also tell a joke every day, because to me, laughter and humor is part of my recovery, and part of my gift in my life that recovery's given to me is bringing back my humor. So I think, to me, it's just a reminder to just choose joy. You got nothing else to do.
Right, right. And a reminder that joy is a choice, right? And that's, that's not about stuffing your feelings or not allowing yourself to feel other feelings, but
no,
you can choose to allow those feelings to pass through, or you can choose to allow them to stay stuck and, eat away at you, or you can choose to, like I said, just allow them to pass through naturally and to move on with joy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Joy is infectious, I think. I'd rather have joy than COVID. That's,
Right. Me too. And you also make bracelets, right?
I do. Honestly, I have had to kind of put that on the back burner. I have really been super busy in the office, and just like everybody else, I have COVID fatigue. The mental health piece wears on me, and I have decided to sort of push my energy into certain areas in my life. Through the pandemic, I have received recovery coaching certification and Whole30 certification. So those are things that I've sort of shifted my energy into, but I am just working on a lot of things. But yes, they're a reminder to do joy every day.
Nice. Yeah. I think you're bringing up a good point about wise leadership, though, and that is there are some things you do have to say no to, right? Like, it's great to say yes, but you also have to think about, how much fuel you have in the tank, how much can you give, what are your goals right now, and what's what's really in alignment with your mission, and that it is okay to let go of things. It is okay to let go of people. I know that's a tough one. But as you were saying, everything has a season, whether it's, an activity or a person or a career, that is life, the expression, the only thing constant is change, right?
Oh gosh. Yes. I definitely agree with that.
I want to thank you so much, Lauren, for coming on today. And
thank you.
How can people reach you if they're interested in acupuncture or in recovery coaching, any of the things you mentioned? How can they find you?
They can go to my Facebook page, Joyful Balance Wellness. On Instagram, it's at Joyfully Sober. My website is joyfulbalancewellness.com. TikTok, I am at Joyfully Sober. I just apologize for that. If you're on TikTok, that's all.
I love your TikTok.
Oh, it's fun. They can, find me like personally on Facebook too. That's fine. But yeah, any of those social media things.
Fantastic. And I will put links to all of those in the comments. And if you'd like to learn more about wise leadership, you can go ahead and get the book and the workbook on Amazon, or you can purchase the full bundle on my webpage that also has the meditation album and the card deck, which, oh my gosh, we have to pull a card before we go.
Do it. I'm super excited.
All right. I wish I could have you pull it. All right.
I trust you.
All right. This one is popping out.
Okay.
I share my why with my tribe. Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that.
Yep. Share it with the people who are going to say yes and support you and cheer you on. You don't have to share it with the naysayers.
Nope.
That's what that's about.
Oh,
All
I
right,
love it. I
everyone.
need to
Thanks
get
for
that deck.
tuning in. Yeah, I love it. It's so pretty too.
Oh my gosh, that is gorgeous.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love it. Look, it matches my shirt.
It does. It does. And it's
Love.
small enough. It's the size of a regular card deck. So you can pretty much, fit it in a pocket, fit it in a purse or a bag, take it anywhere. And whenever you need a little boost, you just pull out a card or some direction.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna order it.
Awesome. Awesome. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. And I'll see you next
Thank
Wednesday
you.
with Lori Cook. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.